Obviously, probably let everybody know we're thinking about Bernie as he's going through uh, his medical situation here. Was able to text with him last night, and he knows that we're with him and he's with us. So just sending all the good vibes, good thoughts I can to Bernie right now. Injury front. Dom Jones has a significant knee injury, likely heading to IR. Uh, Jack Conklin, Cam Robinson, those knee injuries, we'll treat those day to day. I'll know more as the week goes on. Dylan Gabriel remains in the concussion protocol. Uh, Obviously, watched the tape last night, this morning, watching it now with the players, and disappointed because that's a ball game in the fourth quarter where you want to go finish and get a win as a football team, and we came up short. And it's all things that we will learn from. That we absolutely have to play complementary ball there, offense, defense, special teams, to find a way to win. And that's what we'll be focused on this week. With that, I'll take any questions.
Okay, first we're going to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Kevin, what do you think the plan will be with Dylan being in the protocol? Will you kind of lean towards turning it over to Shador so he can get that full week of practice and be ready to go on Sunday?
Yeah, we'll work through that in the next couple days and this week. Obviously, Mary Kay, I'll update you guys Wednesday as we get into Vegas preparations.
Okay, thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Scott.
Hey, Kevin, when you look back at Shadur's, first experience yesterday, what are the biggest maybe coaching points and what you're telling him, especially about dealing with the pressure that the Ravens brought?
Well, I think you learn from every single play, Scott, that's out there, and there's always lessons to be learned, and obviously there's always going to be good and there's always going to be bad, and that's just part of playing and getting reps, and then part of learning is taking all those coaching points that come with those reps.
And what'd you see on the back-to-back throws into the end zone? Looked like they had a chance, just need to be better balls, or what did you see there?
Yeah, trying to make a play on both of those, the scramble drill, obviously trying to make a big play, got out of the pocket, did a nice job, and then their player made a nice play down the field.
Thanks.
All right, next we go to Daniel.
Hey Kevin, I wanted to ask now, do you have any further details on everything surrounding Dylan's concussion check? Was he presenting symptoms? Did he say anything? Was it a spotter? How did that come to be?
Yeah, he was feeling symptoms at halftime. Obviously, got with the trainers immediately and addressed it. So,
And as of this morning, is he still presenting symptoms to your knowledge?
yeah, I'm not going to get into specifics, but he's still in the protocol.
Thank you.
All right, next we go to Tony.
Yes, Kevin, I know this is a weekly question, but will Watson be cleared to practice?
Yeah, I don't have an update there.
Okay. And you said last night that if Gabriel is unable to play, it would be Shador. You have Zappy also. Is there any need for another quarterback to join the team this week?
Yeah, all things that we'll work through, but feel good about our group.
Okay, thank you.
All right, next we go to Jeff.
Kevin, what are the challenges for your offensive line when Gabriel and Shador have such different styles?
Yeah, I think for all players, Jeff, it's just important that you focus on your job, and our guys know what our roles are, and that there are, of course, there's different styles to quarterbacks, there's different styles to runners. How the running back, your starting running back may run a plays a little bit different than the backup running back, but that's all part of it. And I think the big focus there, Jeff, is just that everybody does their job on any given play.
But I mean, it seems to me in a way that their styles are so contrasted, it has to really be more difficult, or I don't know, more difficult, but different for your line.
Yeah, the general principles, the rules, how we structure the protection is regardless of the quarterback.
Okay, thank you.
All right, next we go to Joe.
Kevin, I know Wyatt said post game yesterday that it took them a couple minutes to get used to Shador's cadence and everything. Just what'd you think of the offensive line's performance second half and just everybody trying to adjust on the fly?
Yeah, I thought, listen, we can be better in a bunch of different areas. Obviously, those are things that we will continue to improve. But that's all part of playing this game is making sure that when guys come in and out of a lineup that you don't miss a beat.
Okay, thanks.
All right, next go to Daryl.
Kevin, if I could follow up on Deshaun real quick. When's the deadline for you guys to make a decision about him on that reserve PUP, whether or not you will open that 21-day window?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that, Daryl. I know he's doing a great job in meetings, supporting the guys.
And then just on Shador, when you watched that yesterday, obviously that's a tough spot for him to come in. We talked about the lack of first team reps and whatnot. Just what did you see from him? When you went back and watched the film this morning, and how much of that do you think, positive or negative? Can he take a step forward by now getting some practice time?
Yeah, I think it's all positive. You're constantly learning as a young football player, constantly learning as a quarterback through all reps. We talk so much about mental reps and those type of things, how important they are. So all those physical reps, I think, add up and will only improve as he continues to get turns.
All right, next go to Cam.
Given I know a lot of team structure, kind of how they give their reps away to their backups kind of similarly. When you look at that situation and knowing that Shador didn't get those first team reps, would you have changed anything about the approach, about how you maybe divided up the first team reps from training camp to now?
Yeah, I understand the question, Cam. I think it's important that you do what you think is right for a football team. The development of our players is constant. It doesn't happen just in one drill or in one practice or one meeting. So we trust our guys. We trust our backup players to be ready to go, and Shador's ready to go. Obviously, I know he wants to play better. I want to coach better, all those type of things, but that just comes, that'll come through work. That's where it will come.
And then on the other side of the ball, Devin Bush said yesterday that, they want to do more specifically for Myles Garrett in a game that he has 4 sacks, 5 tackles for loss. They want to do more, not only to help push him, but to get him wins. I know it's not just Myles, but is that kind of a shared mindset in the team of not wanting to waste big performances, so to say, by not getting the win?
Yeah, we're so focused on one thing, Cam, and one thing only, and that's winning, and that's winning as a team. And when you come up short, it's hard to really think about anything else about a given game.
Thanks.
All right, next go to Chris.
Hey Kevin, I got just a couple questions about the tackles position. Obviously, you say it's day to day with Jack and Cam, but would the plan be Tevin and KT likely to start at those spots? What would be what is the kind of contingency plan there?
Yeah, we have options, Chris. We have to work through all those things this week. Obviously, the availability of Jack and Cam will determine that. But KT went in there when we had an injury yesterday. Tevin went in there when we had an injury yesterday. So those are certainly options if that's the case.
And then following up, this is like the third straight year where you've just had all sorts of injuries at that specific position, both tackle spots. Have you ever seen anything quite like that in your time in the league?
Can't remember. Don't know. But again, I think it goes back to injuries are a very, very unfortunate part of this game of football, and we have guys that are backups, and we trust them.
Thanks.
All right, next go to Justin.
Hey, Kevin, I wanted to ask you if you could just explain some of the different nuances and challenges I know you have in the past of, splitting up reps with a rookie starting quarterback and a rookie backup quarterback and the different challenges that that kind of presents?
Yeah, obviously reps themselves are different both in the off season and in the regular season. We've always structured it with making sure we're getting all of our guys ready to play. I think our players, starters and backups, do a great job of maximizing all of their opportunities, whether it comes again in a given rep or it comes in a meeting, whatever it may be.
Thanks.
All right, we'll go back to Mary Kay.
Yeah, a couple of questions here real quick for you, Kevin. First of all, when you said after the game that Dylan would start if he cleared the concussion protocol, were you pretty much talking about the Raiders game? And will you take this kind of week to week? I mean, you didn't, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm just talking about the fact that he's in the concussion protocol, so we'll obviously make sure that takes precedent here, Mary Kay, and make sure that he's getting better by the day.
But what I mean by that is, does Shador have a chance to nail this thing and hang on to the starting job if he goes out there and performs well, and then when Gabriel comes back, or how would that?
Yeah, I'm not going to speculate on that type of thing. I know this. We trust our players. We trust our guys to put in the work, and we're just going to be solely focused on this game that's in front of us.
Okay, and then you've been around a lot of offensive football throughout your whole entire career. Just so people have an understanding about how those first team reps work in practice, like all those years that you were in Minnesota, was it ever customary to give QB2 any of those first team reps in practice?
Yeah, and I understand the question. No, the starter gets the vast majority, obviously, if not the entire majority. I will say this: we trust our players. Shador's putting in great work, on the field, in the meeting room. He will be better with reps that he's getting, like any player would be better. But we trust him, and he's somebody that's continued to put in the work and will continue to do so.
Okay, thank you.
All right, next we go to Spencer.
Hey, Kevin. Last night Miles mentioned that Shador sort of tried to shoulder the blame for the loss, sort of in front of the team in the locker room. Just what was your message to him in that moment? Miles kind of said, he wasn't going to let him do that, but what was your message sort of to him?
Yeah, obviously I'll keep, those type of messages between us, but this game has never been about one player or one play in a game. It'll always be a team effort in all areas.
And then the Ravens have used that sort of Mark Andrews wildcat tush push play before. I think they actually just used it last week against the Vikings, a different version, like a different play off of it. But how much was that something you guys, prepared for, or kind of thought could be part of the game plan for them? And how much was them doing that version of it, just, them running the right play at the right time?
Yeah, I mean, you got to tip your cap to them. Obviously, it was a well-designed play. There are things that we can do differently on that play, and they had shown different things off of that, not exactly that play. So it's you hope that they might get the first, but you get them down for, a gain or whatever it might be, but well executed by them.
Thanks.
Great, we'll do a few more. First one, Scott.
Hey, Kevin, were you guys able to identify when Dylan suffered the concussion?
Yeah, I don't know that we know for sure when it was, but I obviously the hit on the play they kept the ball to the left side is likely where it happened.
Gotcha. Thank you.
All right, next, Daryl. Can't hear you, Daryl.
Oh, I said I'm good. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay. All right, next, Daniel.
Yeah, Kevin, I wanted to go back to really like the blitz zero, cover zero looks at the Ravens for Sean, because they dropped out of a lot of those looks, and they would bring like a DB, especially in the second half. What as an offense can you guys do better to execute against that? Because I know a lot of times it was a lot of longer developing passes that were kind of like crossing over into the zones. Like when you look back to the film, do you think that maybe you could, throw a couple screens to just get the ball out quickly and get the ball in space?
Yeah, we'll always look at things that we can do better. Obviously, we have to have a better protection just overall on a bunch of areas of that game, but we'll look at everything.
All right, last one from Joe.
Kevin, just your time here in Cleveland, just getting to know Bernie and everything, how much have you come to kind of appreciate him trying to battle through his health struggles and kind of coming out on the other side?
Yeah, I mean, Bernie's my guy. I know that this town has such a special relationship with Bernie from his playing days, and then the impact that he's had on this community over the course of all these years. I didn't have that experience with Bernie prior to coming here, but since I've been here, he has just been such a supportive person of me, so kind to my family. I think he sees my family every game day, and just is so good to them. So he's a special person. He's a special Cleveland Brown, and we are all rooting for him, and we are all right there with him right now.
Okay, thanks.
All right, that wraps us up. Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you guys.
All right, guys, we have Cedric Tillman on deck if you guys want to get questions ready. All right, everyone, we have Cedric Tillman here. If you have a question, raise your hand and we will call on you. First question looks like Mary Kay is ready.
He said, just wondering, how much do you think it will help you guys having Shador in there all week for practice if it works out that way? If he gets a chance to get those first team reps and get those starting reps and have a game plan for him, what kind of impact do you think that will have on his performance if he gets the start?
Thad, you're muted. Just click unmute.
Yeah, I think it would help. Obviously getting reps with the ones and stuff like that. So I guess we'll just see how the week goes.
All right, next we'll go to Daryl. Can't hear you, Daryl.
Uh, Said, what'd you see from Shador, and just what was it like, watching him operate? And obviously, that's a tough spot to come in to make your NFL debut.
Yeah, he's a competitor. Obviously, playing with him now was the first time, so that was cool. But I see him every day, see how he works and stuff like that, see how he prepares. So it was cool being out there with him and see him being a competitor. So it's good. Looking forward to it.
And you guys kind of seem to be stuck in this like 17 points per game area here. Just what do you think needs to happen for you guys to kind of get past that on a regular basis and give you a better shot to win some of these games when you're scoring some more points?
We just have to be more consistent. I know I've been saying that, but just be more consistent on offense. And when the plays are there, we just got to make them.
All right, next we'll go to Scott.
He said, following up on that, I saw a quote from you yesterday that said it was embarrassing when you're talking about the offense not being able to support the defense. So just how do you deal with that? The fact that you guys haven't met your expectations and it's led to these losses.
Yeah, it's obviously disappointing because, like you said, we kind of just been stuck with the point situation. So we got to do better as an offense, all of us. Get back, obviously, here today. Just hit it hard this week so we can score the amount of points because the defense is playing really well. Obviously, we all know what Miles is doing and other guys. So we just got to do our job on offense.
And then there's been a lot of discussion about the reps, like the backup quarterback reps, right? Shador hasn't had any with the first team offense. Do you understand why it's structured like that the starter gets all of them and the backup just kind of has to figure it out?
No, that's coach's decision.
But is that how he's always been though? Right? That's not unusual this year.
Coach's decision.
All right, thanks.
All right, Mary Kay, do you have another one?
Yeah. Said, I was just wondering, do you feel like, do you guys 100% still back Dylan Gabriel? If he gets back in there after this concussion, do you feel like there's so much more meat on the bone for you guys in the offense, especially with, Tommy calling the plays now?
Yeah, rather it's Dylan out there or Shador, we're going to play hard. We're going to do our jobs to execute, to help those guys out. So rather it's Dylan or Shador, it's the job for the other guys on the field to help those guys out and to make plays.
And so do you guys feel like this is something where you're all in lockstep together and there's no, division in the locker room about who anybody would want to play or anything like that?
No, I don't think there's any division.
Okay, thanks.
No, there's not division. I don't say think. There's not any division.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Cam.
He said you kind of mentioned you seeing what Myles Garrett's doing and knowing how the defense is performing this season and wanting to do more to kind of match that production. Do you feel good about kind of where the communication is between your two units to make sure that tensions don't boil over? I know that there's not a divide in the quarterback thing, and there doesn't seem to be a divide in that regard, but do you feel good about how that conversation is going as you guys try to work things out on your side of the ball?
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate the teammates on the defensive side, still encouraging us. Like I said, it's no surprise. Offense, we just got to do our job.
Thanks.
All right, next go to Spencer.
Hey, Said, obviously second week of Tommy calling plays. Just what did you think in terms of his, another week under his belt, what he sort of drew up? I know the big play to you was, a nice kind of variation off of some of those screen passes you guys have run with Malachi, but just what did you think in terms of the vision that he kind of brought to the game plan this week?
I thought it was good, like I said last week, regardless if it's Coach Stefanski or Tommy, calling plays, it's just our job as players to execute. But definitely I thought it was cool. Obviously I like the play coming to me, obviously I like that. But yeah, I thought it was cool.
And then for this year at least, matched a season high in terms of yards yesterday. Just how do you feel, second game back from the injury, kind of getting back into the flow of things and contributing to this offense again?
How do I feel about it?
No, just how do you feel like, as you've kind of gotten back into the mix here and gotten yourself back healthy?
Yeah, just trying to go out there and, play my game, catch a ball when it's thrown to me, block, and just give effort. So that's what I've just been trying to be focused on.
Thanks.
All right, Mary Kay, do you have another one?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
All right, last call for questions for Cedric. All right, thanks, Ced. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll let you know when Devin Bush is on the way. All right, everyone, we have Devin here. If you have a question, raise your hand. All right, first question go to Ashley.
Hey Devin, just wondering in terms of film and stuff, if you guys have had a chance to rewatch the Mark Andrews touchdown and after some time to digest it, just what happened on that play as you guys are obviously like expecting the sneak and they go with a different option.
Yeah, we were expecting sneak. They got in a sneak formation, and they had a good counter off of it. Fake toss to Lamar, QB keeper, and it was a good call.
What's just important for you guys as a defense right now as the offense, continues to struggle to put points on the board, like in order to keep the team together and everything?
Yeah, we just gotta keep playing hard. We just gotta keep setting ourselves up and putting ourselves in the best situation to win. And as long as we keep doing that, we can't be down on ourselves.
All right, let's go to Mary Kay.
Hey, Devin, just wondering, I've heard sort of behind the scenes that when Shador runs the scout team for you guys, that he's been doing some really nice things and making some good progress
Hmm.
in practice. And just wondering, is that, can you just share with us a little bit about, what you've seen from him and how he's developed and come along over the past, how many ever weeks?
Yeah, he's been giving us good looks. Depending on who we going against that week, he gives us a chance. He challenges our coverages a lot. It's been times where he's played a couple zone reads, giving us good looks on that. So I think he's just taking that progression and treating it like game reps. And I think he's doing a real good job getting us ready for the week and as well, so getting himself ready.
And based on what you've seen, does that give you confidence that once he's got a full week of practice and I don't know if he's going to start this week, but
Mhm.
if he gets a full week of practice and if he goes in there, based on what you've seen in some of those practices, are you pretty confident that he's going to perform pretty well going forward?
Yeah, I got confidence in him.
Thanks.
All right, next we'll go to Scott.
Hey, Devin, after the game yesterday, Miles was talking about you, and he said you're having a resurgence and you look more comfortable, and he thinks you're putting it all together.
Mhm.
Do you agree with that? And how would just you assess your season?
Yeah, man. I mean, we still got 7 games ago, so I mean, I think it's still pretty early, but man, I'm just going out there. I'm just having fun with it. I love the guys I play with, and I love coming to work every day, and going throughout the weeks, with this team. Obviously we would want a better record. We want things to be different, but football is all about having fun and being part of a team. So I'm enjoying it.
And then yeah, you guys were so good against Henry in week 2. And I know yesterday most of it was the long run, but what did they do? Did they do anything different schematically that allowed him to get a little bit of a head of steam on some of those runs?
Yeah, I mean they do what they always do. I mean they run off tackle, they run in between the tackles, and they just keep feeding you different same runs, just different looks.
Okay, thanks.
All right, next we'll go to Cam.
Devin, you just kind of touched on the defense just needing to kind of do your thing and keep making plays out there while the offense figures things out. But for you guys, it feels like the margin of error is so small when the offense isn't putting up points. Is that something you've had to navigate of wanting to make the plays and wanting to hold the fort down while the offense figures it out, but also not trying to do too much and maybe make mistakes as you're trying to do a little too much? I know that's been kind of a point that you guys have emphasized of not doing too much.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing about that is knowing what our challenges are, knowing what we're trying to overcome, and being able to settle in those moments, and having confidence in our scheme, in our players, and our coaches as well, and just going out there executing.
And you mentioned some of the good things that you've seen from Myles Garrett, and it's not a surprise anymore. But what have you seen from the guys next to him and Mason Graham and Malik Collins, and how they're able to impact the defensive line and then let that trickle back into the linebackers in the secondary?
Yeah, compliments everybody. It starts up front. It always has and always will be, no matter what type of system or what type of level of football you playing. And those guys compliment him well, and he compliments them well. And I think as you see, as each week goes on, it's harder and harder to deal with just Miles itself when you got Malik rushing like that. You got Mason coming from the 3 tech, the 2 eye. You even got Shelby Harris making noise, batting balls down. You got Isaiah and Alex when they get their chance to throw their best fastball. So I think our front works well together.
Thanks.
All right, next we go to Daryl.
Yeah, Devin, what's it like watching Miles do what he's doing right now? He's got 10 sacks in his last 3 games, 15 on the season. Fourth guy in NFL history with, multiple games with 4 or more sacks in a season, right? It just seems like every week he's adding another milestone to what's going to be a Hall of Fame resume. So just as his teammate, what's it like being around and playing with a guy like that week in and week out?
Yeah, it's great. Who doesn't want to play with a guy like that? I mean, he's going to show up Sundays. He's going to come out there and give it his best. It gives you confidence to go out there and give it your best because, you got him right next to you. I think it's our job at this point to get him to where he needs to be at to keep that resume where it's at.
And then just for you guys as a defense, you've played really well this season. Obviously, the offense is trying to find its footing. A lot of times with teams at this point in the season, when you get into mid-November, there'd be some griping and finger pointing and division and things like that. We've not seen that from you guys. What has allowed you as a team to kind of keep that together, and especially on the defensive side of the ball, be patient and understanding while the offense might be going through some growing pains?
Yeah, we all know our situation. We're not going to sit here and act blind to the fact. We got 2 rookie quarterbacks that we're relying on, as well as a bunch of other rookies on the opposite side of the ball. So it's going to be times where, the experience is going to outweigh, the outcome. And, it's just our job to be with them and stick with them through it out.
All right, next we go to Spencer.
Hey, Devin, obviously when you came into the league, first round pick with the Steelers, you got your career off to a tremendous start, and then the knee injury was a setback for you. But, standing here in 2025 with what you're sort of putting together on the field, do you feel that you're playing at the highest level you have throughout your career?
I'm not sure. I don't think so yet. It's like I said, we got 7 games left. So it's a lot more football to be played. So we'll see.
Thanks.
All right, we'll go back to Scott.
Hey, Devin, we've talked to you a lot about Carson. But, I think after the game, Grant said, he thinks he's an all-pro. Is he playing that well? Like, does he deserve to be considered among the best linebackers in the league? And if so, why?
Yeah. First of all, he's a rookie. This is his first go around in the league, which is not easy to do. It's probably going to be the longest season ever of his career, just coming from the draft process and everything like that. He came in, he fit in, he commands a call, he makes a call, he makes the checks. He's out there on 3rd down, making stops, sack, picks, whatever it is to put his team in position to win, and that's what all pros do.
Appreciate it.
All right, last call for questions for Devin. Justin Cooper.
Hey, Devin, I just kind of wanted to ask, you go into this season without JOK, rookie and Carson Schlesinger, just some questions. You lost Hicks to retirement. What has been the secret to getting this linebacking core, as, kind of came into the season as looking at it was going to be one of the weakest parts of that defense and turning into one of the strengths of this defense, if not the strongest part of this defense?
What was the question?
Just how have you guys, navigated through this season in terms of the injury to JOK and turning into, kind of one of the strengths of this defense, that linebacking core?
Yeah, everybody knows how this league go. It's next man up. That's what we here for. That's what we signed up to do, is play football. So, I thought we just did a great job of just putting it all together at the start of OTAs, and just working through that through camp, through those joint practices and the preseason as well. So, this is no surprise. This is no secret.